Hello, hello, and welcome. Hello, gamer. Can you hear me good and well? Awesome. Thank you for confirming. So, I guess it's just you and here, me right now. I have to learn to separate my voice audio from my stream audio or just stream video, whatever I'm capturing, so I can. I'm thinking of doing highlight edits of these stat streams. So for those who don't want to go through all me rambling, and sometimes these creation takes some time, a lot of browsing through stuff. So I want to make some highlight videos so people can just check out those if they rather watch those. Hi Nancy's. Thank you for checking in. I heard there was going to be some movie watching tonight of Megan. I'll let you know privately what I think about it. So today I am simply going to start off where we last left it with the Daz girl. I hope the music is it okay, that it's not too loud. Hello Joshi. Yoshi-san. Hope your weekend's been good. Hello Horizon and welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the watch earlier. So yeah, I'm just going to get to this, I guess. I should just let you all know that I do have some plans for DAS streams and videos. So I will be doing some streams, and then I will be doing some highlight videos of those streams. I just need to figure out some technical stuff, like being able to separate my voice from the screen, and I'm going to do some videos as well. These Banner Girls streams are more just like for me to get a little bit of practice streaming. It's not something I'm used to, and there's a lot of technical stuff. And I realized that I don't really have the fastest internet for it. I have a very, very stable internet, but it's the deal is very, very old, and you can't sign up for it anymore. I can get a much better speed, but it would also cost me quite a bit more. I pay like maybe $15 around that for mine. But I do want a better one. It's been functional for what we needed it for thus far. But I did upload my slideshow short art story earlier, Uncertain Future. So please have a look at that. But I did notice when I watched it some technical issues, like between the slide images. It goes in and out of quality. So first it's a pretty bad quality and then it sharpens up, but I wanted to have good quality all the way. And Jay mentioned that it may be a bitrate issue. I don't know. I'm so new at this, and I basically learned everything I've done so far in the span of 2 weeks between work and other stuff. But yeah, so there are plans. I will be showing more of the advanced stuff that I'm working on. I have quite a few scenes that are really big, uh, that isn't just focused on a character, but much bigger scenes, and that has lots of different elements, kit bashing, taking from other scenes and products and stuff like that. So, but this is just more like a starter, warming up. Hello, Jeremy. Welcome. Thank you all for checking in. I really do appreciate the support. I have no idea if I got the stream bot to work, but I did see it early in the chat. So we'll see what happens if my alerts are working this time. I can't really remember if I actually did put on alerts. I did. So we'll see if any new subscribers, then hopefully the alert for that should pop up. But you just never know. So let's get started with this one. Oh, before I get started, hope everyone had a really good weekend. I had a very chill one with some good food. My man was here, so I had a cozy time. But, so with this, let's see, to freshen our mind, what did it look like in a preview render. She's very cute, but it's not very dynamic, I would say, right now. We need a bit more sass, maybe, and a little more flow in the hair, such things. I may just go and try another light. Again, I'm at iRadiance. There are so many options. I linked to iRadiance and Cake One in my previous stream. So for anyone who wants to get the products that I talk most about in these streams or feature, there will be links in each stream in the description for people to follow. So I am going to try here. I was in earlier just to try and get a little quick overview of what I wanted to do going forward with it, because when I do these, they can take a lot of time. Sometimes I'm not happy with the result for a long time, and I just go in and do different poses, trying out different light sets, and just to see what it can bring forth, what kind of mood. And sometimes a light or a pose can completely change what I initially wanted or thought I was going to do. And since this one is one of those where we just went in, took out a base figure and dialed in some good looking morphs, added a bit of makeup and hair and outfit, these can take some time, and sometimes I just have a quick vision that comes instantly. Yeah, they are really good, Horizon. There are so many different options. I can show you, for example, if we go with this one. Right now it's just white, but if I go to utilities, I do have some different options here, both in lights. I can get it brighter, I can get it darker, and I have rotation. So if I try those, right now it's on this one, rotation A, so nothing changes. This is simply rotating the HDR, which is the background and light. That one is pretty nice. And we can do tone mapping. So if we do this one, you can see that the white around the cheeks darkens a lot. If we go back to reset, it lightens up. So often it's just a lot of poking around, testing what it is that strikes you at that moment. It all depends on what you're in for. We also have these balances. We can do a little bluish, pink, to match the tone of her hair and such. Yellow, give a little bit of warmth. And we have white, for example. I'm just going to go with the white one for right now. It's still not really dynamic though. It's a cute image, and if we put some, we can go in to see her hair a quick bit. I'm just going to save this so I can copy it in later. I have materials for the hair. Well, Horizon, it does get fairly simple when you have options to choose toning, but you can also, once you choose whatever you want, if you're not happy, you can go in here, white point. We can see what it looks like. And then we can, let's try blue. It turns green. Hello, Venstar. And Kelvin, hiya. Thanks you for both for peeking by. Yellow turns it blue. Can go a light blue, then we gets a little bit more pink. Can go a bit yellow. Oh, turn pretty cold. So in the white point you can change different tones, or you can simply go to, I forgot to turn it off. It's going to be taxing on your system. So if you don't have a very good card, then the render preview may not be the best option. It's a very quick option, but it's not always the best option if you don't have a really good card. The higher card, the better. But we can go into the hair and see if we can get a little shaping. So besides the materials that we went over last time, we also have the shaping, so we can add some wind in her hair. These are all presets. Let's see what it looks like. If I don't like that, I can reset. Oh, hair blow, reset. My render preview been missing a bit. I got into a bit of a unique problem as I was doing some rendering for the YouTube channel. For whatever reason, it stopped preview rendering. unless I turned on a chair that I had hidden. At the moment I turned the chair on so it could be seen in the render, then it wanted to render in the preview. And I could turn the chair off again so it wasn't be seen and it would continue rendering. I've never experienced that problem before and I have no clue why. So that was fun, and I've been doing DAS for around 7 years maybe. Let's see this one. So now we got a bit of flow, but we can see a bit of the hair going into the dress. So I'm just going to go in, have the hair highlighted, so go into parameters, and in the actor there are all these adjustments I can do. So I can get the bangs. That will get that above the, so I'm not going to use those, but I can control the hair doing this. What I want is to find the right side. There I have something. And see, ooh, here, to get it away from the color. I can try different styles. It looks like the bangs went away there. Ah, the bangs went away. If you put it out, you can see a bit of the bang again. Pretty cute. So that's just a very simple setup. And with this you could pretty much just render it out. We would need to fix the hat, of course. So I'm going to go to the perspective view because that's where I want to move it around. I do not want to move it around in my camera view because that's going to move the whole camera. So I'm just going to see how I can move this cap. I can expand it to go over. That's pretty much what I can do with it by the looks of it. If I choose the cap, it came up. I can hide it like this. But you can see we got these, which is basically these front and back. But I can move it like this if I want to. Ooh. Oh no. It's hard to control. I'm tilting wrong way. I want the other way. Do I? No. That way. Let's just see what that looks like. Doesn't look like. There may be coming a little bit of hair through here. But many times I do some final editing in Photoshop, for example. And if there's something I can't really morph away or get away in any other case, then I may do some Photoshop editing. But we can make it much bigger overall. I can change the size. I can make it higher. Let's try that. The roses are on their own. They are in the surface, but not as a standalone like the cap. So you don't have the cap and then the roses. But if for some reason you don't want them, you can go into the surface and you can find we have the chain, the headband, the middle. So here you can change colors too. You have some presets. These you can open in Photoshop and change if you want to. Let's see what happens if we change a bit of color. If it does anything. That didn't really change anything, did it? Maybe get a little green in the... Ah, there it was. Okay, I'm just going to see. Ah, we got some green. Let's see what that looks like. Still need to move the hat. Or we can do the general way. Nope, cap. I need to go to the cap. I can't do this. As you can see, there is none. I can only move it and rotate it. If I want to change the whole thing, I can go to preferences and show hide properties. Then the whole scaling thing will come up. As you can see here. But it's going to do some weird things. So in this case, it's better to simply do this via the cap. Let's see, I can move it. So blue is forward. Green is up. And red is to the sides. So I'm just going to fit this hat a little better. That was the sides. Sometimes it's easier to move via these, and sometimes you just... But you have a little bit more control at times moving via these. Let's see what it looks like. Still not happy. I'm going. I can move to the sides. Lift it up a bit. Sometimes it's a lot of fiddling with these things. Hello, Phil. Welcome so much. Thank you for supporting me. Phil is my old sidekick. You guys remember that last stream we talked about the DS Creative and that I had a very good sidekick helping me with the technical stuff and a lot of that. That was Phil. I couldn't have done it without Phil and Totte and Daniel and Bobby and a few others, along with the community. We all did it together. So yeah, this don't look too shabby. So it's going out to this back, but it kind of depends on. Right now we kind of don't see it. I may want to get it a little. Let's see. Yeah, this looks okay. And since we're not really looking at her from behind, we don't need to change it if we don't want to. But you just never know when you want to use an image again, or a scene again like this is, or if you perhaps change your mind on the camera view. So I like to make sure that it's less to fix in the smaller details. I rather take my time at the start of it than having to go over and fiddle with all the smaller details on a later point where I'm very close. Because as I fiddle and do things, I may change my mind. It has happened that a piece turns out very different from what it usually would be. Now the question is, should it be green or should we change it to another color? We can try and see what happens in the gloss. Now I have this here, but I have this color here. If I do hold Control and click on the hat, now I have both selected, but it will choose the hats. So if I want the hats, I simply click here, OK, and then both will turn the same color. So now I'm thinking the stone also need to be green. Thank you very much, Horizon. I'm just going to pause this. Going a close up. I want this stone green. So I'm going to go to my files. I have the surface tool and the stone selected, the cameo. I'm just going to see what it looks like right now. As you can see, it doesn't look like anything. It just looks like there's something. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. I'm going to hold Control and click this, and then this will pop up, and I'm going to choose Selected. Then it will only change to the surface I have selected instead of the whole bow. And yeah, there wasn't anything to show really. But I'm going to see if we can add some green to it. Here I have many different glass shaders. So shaders is different textures, shaders simply, that you can add to surfaces. There are many different ones. There are crystals, emissives, which is things that lights up. So for example, let me just save quickly. in case it crashes. I can try this one. We can see a little bit of green, but not much happens really. I just need to check. You can see there is a emission on it, but it doesn't really do anything. I'm going to go to I'm blind. There. And just see what happens. Oh, now we got something. Now it looks like a jewel. Let's see if we add this. I apologize if I go quiet. I just get into it. And I'm not used to streaming. I think it's a bit too much reflectivity, so I'm going to take it down a bit and try and see what happens if I change some colors. Going to lighten it up a bit. Still too. There. Now we got a green brooch or jewelry. I think the hat itself is a little bit too dark compared to I do apologize if my voice is a bit raspy tonight. I've been a bit sick. I haven't really recovered fully yet. So my head isn't like on point either. How's everyone doing in the chat? Let me just catch up quickly. Thanks for the one who stopped by and for the likes and for all of you who are here. Horizon, there are times where I get promo works from DAS that needs quickly done, but it's good practice. You have to make sure if it's not good enough, they're not going to accept it. But it is good practice to try and like make some quicker work. But I do enjoy the whole process of setting up a scene and just making it come to life. Sometimes it's like the scene or the figure kind of come to its own life, build up itself as I browse through all my stuff. So yeah, this is a pretty quick setup and it looks okay. It's not very dynamic, but if you just want a more simple piece, then this would be the way to go. We have fixed the hat, we put a bit of color in it, but we also have a camera that we're working through. And via that we can get some focus, out of focus, in focus. So I'm going to pause this. I'm going to highlight my camera and I'm going to go to lights and cameras. And here I have all these setups. And this is where if you do have some photography knowledge, you have a bit of an advantage. Some of these settings and sliders are similar to in a regular camera. And what I usually do is set depth of field. It does a lot to your scenery if you put some depth to it. And we can see that there are these lines popping up. Make sure that you are in perspective view, because if you're in camera you won't see this, and if you do move around here, then the camera will move and will not be in the position that you first put it. So always check your camera and perspective view, what you're in when you move around in the scene. Perspective move is where you want to move around. We have these lines. As I move the focal distance, I will move them in to the figure. It's between those lines is what will be in focus. So we have these green and red lines. We can go in on display and we have this focal point scale. Can make it small or bigger. I usually make it as big as possible. And we can even make it bigger by going into parameter settings and untick the use limits. And now I can make it bigger than my figure, which can come in handy when you do portrait styles and we want to get really up close. Have a good focus on the eyes. There are lots of stuff we can do with this, but I usually don't use it and I haven't played around much. I have started play around way more with the focal length. From here we don't really see more than these white lines moving, but if I go into the camera, this is what happens. You can see her proportion gets a bit stretched out too. So if I go over here where we are in camera, this is what it will look like. We can see if we do a render of it. Perspectives. That's pretty cool though. So that's what that does. Hobbit feet. We just need to give her some hair on those feet. I do actually have hair for feet. We do have hobbit-like figures. We have dwarfs also. And just recently we got a Hogwarts classroom-like scene. Really nice one. Do go to DAS and look at the most recent scenes and props. It's really gorgeous. But yes, this is not really what we are going to do. But you can make some really cool images, like really whimsical images. I can imagine like a Alice in Wonderland type image. And then play around with some other figures and like teacups and stuff like that. Have some different perspectives. But yes, not what we are going to do. So I'm just going to regret what I've done. Control set. Going to go back to camera. So yeah, so this moved and distorts a bit. And frames, I'm not really sure what's the difference. I wonder what the difference is. I do not know. It doesn't look like any different, just straight up like this. So I'm not sure. But this is what we should have on the depth of field, and we should be in our perspective because we want to move this green and red one, which we do with the focal. And I'm going to move it so I have it with by her eyes. Sometimes you may have to remove the hair so you can get a better look. Then you just blind it. So I want it about there. These white lines that are moving is what's within your focus. So everything within these are in focus. The longer you get away, the more focus, and the less everything around it will be out of focus. So we can start by doing this one just to see what it looks like. But before we do that, we make sure you have the camera and just go to it, parameters, and the headlamp. Make sure to turn that off because it does give glares and lights that you do not want. If you start adding more lights or different lights, which we will come to later when I show one of more complicated scenes with more lights and such. This is just a simple setup to show you how I went about to do my banner girls. There's some bit more dynamic to those, and I have a rim light just like I have here. I'm not can't remember if I showed you, but I have them in my light presets from Sveva over at the Renderosity. She has at DAZ 2. Apparently Renderosity is down at the moment. I haven't been able to get in there for 2 days. I'm not sure why. But it appears to be down in multiple places. But as you can see, we have these lights that I think we put up last time. We can look through them just to see where they are positioned. And yes, we did do these last time to get some more light. We can see what it looks like without them. So first we have them here. Yoshi, are you holding the right shift or left shift as you zoom in and out? You mean in the camera? I just scroll the scroll wheel. So if I scroll out and I scroll in, but I can also move this one to have a bit more control over it. But we have these lights. So we have this one. Let's try and turn that off. Then the light from the side goes away, and we have this one. Now it gets really dark. So this is just simple rim lights that we added last time. I can add more. We can add a green one. If I double click and add these now, then it will take away all the other lights. It will only have the green, but I don't want that. So I'm going to hold Control and double click, and then I get the pop-up. I do add instead of replace all. And if there are more lights, I can just choose from the list and take off the ones that I want or don't want. Click accept. Now we have the green light added, but we also have the white ones. And I may want to turn that down a bit, tone it down. I just want a little bit of green. may want to change it. I can just go in here, change to whatever color I want. So if we want a little bit of blue, and we can spread the angle, or we can, then it gets more intense. So if we try she needs some green eyes too. Again, I'm just going to make sure I have what I want to manipulate highlighted. What is your opinion on HDR light setups that work standalone with just one spotlight? I guess that depends. I mean, you mean if it's just one, if it's HDR and then you have one spotlight. With some of Irradiance stuff. Let's see. I'm not sure which. These only have HDRs. They have no lights at all. And then there are, what's her name? What's her name? Let's see. See, this is why I have everything installed, because I can't remember everything and I can't remember every name. But if I have everything installed, I can always find it. Here, let's see. Let me just check quickly. Infinity lights. I just want to check. That's by Paper Tiger. I will link that in the description later. It's Daz Original and Paper Tiger. She has lots of different setups. It's HDR eyes with lights also. Here you get some lights. Yeah, they are good. I mean, it's nice to have a full setup with both HDRs and lights and everything. She has tone mapping. There is a lot to offer. And it's a good price. It's $20. Irradiance has some that doesn't have lights, but he also has those with lights. And the best thing is you can always combine, so you don't only have to use from one set, which is why the best thing is really, if you know that you do like playing in DAS and doing stuff with it, start to slowly build up your library. And instead of going for just everything, make sure that you have a bit of a plan. What is it you want to build up? Are you into modern stuff? Are you into sci-fi, fantasy? do you want to do everything, but because there's a lot of stuff that comes out every day. It's a lot of money. It's an expensive hobby once you get started. But also once you get started, it's hard not to become a Dazaholic, as we call it. And I mean, I sat with Daz before I started making money off it. I've always done art and will always do art, no matter if I make money or not on it. But once you do, yeah, it can cost a bit once you get into it. So just make sure you have a plan going forward and don't stress too much about getting it now, because most of the times there are sales going on for different holidays, but also just in general. So usually there will be a sale around. But also check for like bigger products and that has multiple things in it. Sometimes you may not like the overall or think that you want to use it, but it can have details in it that you may want to use. Uh, and nowadays there are some items that they split. For example, an outfit, so you could get just the hat with all its texture if you don't want the whole outfit. Such things. But the best thing is just to start build up once you know that this is what you're going to do, and then you have lots of options. Because let's also, everyone can do this. Everyone can buy a product, download it, click it in, add a HDR, ready to set up an outfit like this. It's quick, it's simple. But if you really want to stand out, that's when you start to playing around more with the from different stuff, combining outfits, which I will be showing also on later streams when I show some of my more bigger setup. And you can combine light sets, and especially when it comes to build your own scenes, then kit bashing, taking props and stuff from different things. I do have a wagon set up, a simple wagon that I bought from Renderosity that I've completely decorated or redecorated and added hooks and lines, uh, made different textures and such things that I will be showing also to show just how fun you can have with kit bashing and using from other products and how different you can make things. Sometimes you can make one product look like something completely else by combining or making your own textures, for example. But we're just gonna see what this looks like. I just need to keep track on the clock also. So I have these lights. Now these stayed. Some lights remove the previous lights and some don't. I don't know exactly which one does and which doesn't. It gave a little bit more light. We can add here. Then we get a sharp light with an infinity rig. Here we have lots of different. Can go out in perspective view. So I can add more lights. I can remove lights. So these are by Paper Tiger and that's originals. Lots of different setups. And also you can rotate, you can make the intensity of the light overall HDR much higher. So if we remove that, we can try and it lightens it up, but it doesn't do too much really. But on her, I wanted some green eyes. So I'm just going to go to my overall material and eye ray. eyes. And I want some green eyes. I'm going to go to my library here as well in DAZ Studio formats, because I have more stuff here. I have one in particular, Madelirium, that we talked about last stream. I think I linked to her. If not, I should. But here on the side, I can see all the iRay eyes that I have. And I can just try my way through until I find a fun setup or something that looks good in this light. I can try these green. They pop pretty good. But I am going to try Dot Eyes by Madelirium. Damn, how much money have you spent on assets? Gamer ask. Well, a lot of money. But I've also been a promo artist for professionally, earning my living for 4.5 years, and I've been in a promo group before that, which I think I spoke about a bit in the first stream. And when you work with promos, it's like a quid pro pro. So we get the product that the vendor wants to show off, and I make an art piece of it, and then I showcase and link to that product, and hopefully those who follow me or like my art or happen to see that one sees that, oh, I want that outfit too, or that girl and or figure, and then they go to the link and buy it. So a lot of the stuff that I have, I've gotten for doing promo work. But of course, for DAZ, we get paid for doing promo work. So I get the products to work with, but also paid. But there's quite a few promo groups and services that does these kind of things. The Arctic, run by Vicky. I will link to that in the description too. If you are a vendor looking for a promo group where you give your product and they make stunning art out of your product and then link to it, then Arctic would definitely be one place to go. They have some amazing artists. So I'm not sure if I like these eyes. I think I like the other greens a bit more. They stood out more. We can give her robot eyes. Now this turned. I can go up close. So as you can see, because I'm from another view of the HDR, you don't see the background as it was. Since it is an HDR, it's going to be different all around. Robot eyes. But yes, Horizon, I can't say for sure how much dollars worth of assets I have, but it's quite a lot. But I've been lucky, fortunate to been able to get into the promo side of it, and then happen across DAS wanting to use my service. It's my dream work. I'm basically living the artist dream, just sitting and doing art all day. Thank you very much, Horizon. And you can see the progress. I've left my earliest DAS renders up at the DAS gallery. You can see my DAS gallery. I think it's linked on my banner, on the Banner Girls. It will take you directly to my art station and to my DAS gallery. My art station is more for presentation wise. It just has a few. And then my DAS gallery have most of my things. But I do have a lot that I haven't actually uploaded yet, or that I'm not really done with, that I've been working on for quite some time. So I do like these eyes, but overall it's really nice and all, but it's not really dynamic enough. I will save though. And I think we are just going to try some other poses. See if we can. So DM, Danny and, let me just check. Danny and Marforno, also just known as DM. They are also on DAS and on Renderosity. They have some beautiful setups, both scenery and poses. So I will highly recommend you going looking at them if you don't already know about them. Here we have a bunch of their poses, which also has sets belonging to them. I'm going to show you how we can combine. I can't remember if we actually did that last time, but here I have some up close. Let's try this one. No. This one. No. This one. Let's see. But then we're not going to see the jewel, are we? So that was pointless. I just remembered. Just going to take away the basic wear that made the stream safe for YouTube. I am going to go in here and change. Let's say we have the standard setup. Oh no, let's do. We get a bit too much dead space there. So as you can see now, I'm moving around the camera, because right now I'm just trying to decide how I want it, what I want to see. Um, yeah, she can hold her bow. Just gotta make sure that the thumb doesn't go into it, as we can see here. Can move it. I'm just going to hide the hair. Gamer, gotta shield my virgin eyes. Horizon, I am very impressed with the Lady Jacqueline you did. Thank you. Have you noticed the flaw in the image? There is something wrong with the image and it is bugging me so much. But it got so popular and got so many likes at the DAS gallery quickly, and back then you couldn't the gallery looked a bit different, so you couldn't edit the image. You had to like remove the image completely, or the post, and then put up a new. Now you can, but now it's so old, so I kind of don't care anymore. But there is a flaw at the top of the head by the hair. It's poking in a bit where it shouldn't. It appears no one has actually noticed it, and if they have, they haven't said anything. But it's a beautiful image, thank you, and I do like it myself. But that part is bugging me, and I didn't notice it until after I had uploaded it. You can look at that image several times, and still, you get to the uploading part, you upload it only to realize that you did miss something. So I'm just going to adjust her hand a bit. Make sure to save. Just going to check quickly what it looks like. I know, Horizon, it's so obvious once you see it. I may go back and change it sometime. Uh, I save all my scene files just in case, because sometimes you may want to go back to it and you may like a scene you've done, and reuse it, repurpose it, recycle it somehow. All you need to do is just sometimes change out some props maybe, or change some color tones or some camera views, and you can get a complete new setup. So that's why I tend to save most of my files. Yes, this is pretty cute. Going to tilt her head a bit more. Mm. Let's try this. She's looking demure, if that's the right word for it. Green and gold. Okay, now we need to fix this hair then. Let's see how it looks like it's going in. It may not even work with this hair. So as you can see, it's a lot of things going into this, which we don't want. Right now I'm just trying to see if we can get as little hair as possible in there. We might have to go back to the hair and see with poses for it. The pinstripe material looks classy. Yeah, it's a really good outfit. I will link to it. It's called the Good Night outfit. So I'm just going to reset my hair. Just press everything if in doubts. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, that looks a bit. See? Much better. So we got a little bit hair going to into this bow. I'm not sure. Let's see where. What could it be? Oh, that poked. Hang on. What does that look like? As you can see, it's a lot of fiddling with details. You can just set everything up quickly and not really care. But for me, that's part of the process, is doing this. It's like therapy. I do like it long. Let's see, front to right. There we have it. And we can see. Nope. Nope. We can make this longer. Shorten it. We can adjust by the cheeks. Let's see what the hand looks like. And sometimes, like I said, if you can't really. So right now we can see that it's going into the hand. We don't want that. But, so I need to go in close and check if we can get her thumb like in between her hands more, and then adjust. So I can just press individually. Go to the different parts. But now it's not up against her. Oops. Go back here a bit. But now it looks It's more like it's between her, a bit of her finger coming, hair between the thumbs. Not quite, but and sometimes I can sit and fiddle with these for like 2 hours only to go, nah, I don't like it, start over. Just going to adjust the fingers individually. And let's see now. Save, just in case. Thank you, Horizon. And yes, Yoshi, I solve world problems sometimes sitting and doing art. And a lot of my own problems I sometimes solve by just sitting and doing art. It's not like I sit and think about the things, it's just somehow while I'm doing art, my thoughts work in the background. And when I'm done, I'm like, yes, I got it. Thank you again for everyone who is here, who has stopped by, and who is staying. We're not gonna do this too much longer, but so you see, it looks much better now. There's still a little bit of hair I can see here. If I highlight, I can see some individual pieces. Here we have the different, which I can go in and change colors to as well. Simply just play around and control set if you regret it. Let's try add a blue here on the glossy color. That didn't do much. So if we do, oh, now we got some purple streaks in it. So if we put, now she got a little bit of green streaks in her hair. Hairy hands, yeah, Yoshi says. It looks like almost it's like a green light giving off the tints, but we can see what else. Make sure that you have the surface tool selected to see the different. You can go via like this. Let's try this one. Did that do anything? Not really, huh? Can try reflective tint. What does that do? Didn't seem to do anything. Oh, maybe a little. Nope, didn't really do anything. So you simply have to try your way forth. But this looks pretty good. I just She needs some dynamic to her eyes. There's not a lot of spark there. I'm just going to go to her eyes. Make sure that she is also looking at us. Getting up and personal with us. I am going to widen her eyes a bit. Save. I am just going to see what it looks like, her looking off to the side instead. So we can add a bit more light. Okay, let's save this. This looks pretty good. I'm going to see if I have a. This is by Colm Jackson, monochrome. You can get black and white lights and set up. You can change that in your own render setting as well. In tone mapping, I believe it is. Let's check. Here we can do some fun things too. So gamma, let's turn that down. We made it darker. Light and pale. You can, here, turn saturation down. There we have more black and white. So you can make your own. If you can't afford to buy a chrome light set, then you can make your own here directly in DAZ. We are of course going to use the standard crush blocks. Burn highlights. Then we get a bit more light in it. Yes, more intensity. That's pretty good. And the white point we can do things with. I don't think that did so much. Vignetting is creating like a frame around. And if we go the other way, ooh, that was pretty cool though. So if we that's pretty cool. I kind of like that actually. But I think we need just a little more light. I'm just going to save. I do think we need just a little more balanced light on her face, so we don't have this sharp green line. and get a little bit more to this side. So I am going to take another light. Now there are different kinds of lights. You have spotlight, mesh lights, rim lights, all kinds of lights. And to be honest, lights is my weakness. It's quite hard actually to get a good light. And there are many times people go, "Oh, I love your light." And I'm like, "Oh, you have no idea how bad set up it is. There are probably way much easier ways." And there is one in particular, Devon, which is he's a colleague. He's both an artist and a pose vendor, and he does some really good art. And his light is so natural, and it's very white natural light. And I find it really hard working with the natural white lights. And I will actually be doing some guest features of some of my colleagues and friends. And I will be featuring Cake One, Cecilia, who is one of the main artists at DAS. I showed her work the first stream. She does all the base figures, promo art. So the first one, when you press go to, for example, Joan 9, one of the recent ones, then the first promo images, you have one main, and then you have a set of promos that shows the body and textures. She does those. So she is one of their top artists, but she also does lights. I linked to her store in the first stream. And Devon, as I said, he also is an artist and a pose vendor. He does mostly poses. And I will be doing some guest features, slideshows thing with them. Both agree to it. So many thanks to them. I will be starting working on those next week. So hopefully I will have a bit of features of other artists and some vendors to show here on the channel too. Do a little promotion for them as a thanks for providing me with amazing products and inspire me to do my art and do better art. With the help of their products, it helps my own art. And they're also just really good people. So we just need to basically add another light to get a little more light in the face, and then I think we are fairly happy. So I'm going to take a white natural rim lights. I like working with rim lights. I'm gonna show ghost lights later in another stream, how to work with those, to mention a few. Control, double click, because I do not want to replace my lights. I want to keep them, I just want to add. And I can go via this one, perspective and all that, to get to the camera or the light. Just going to move it. So I want just a little more overall light in her face. We just have to tweak it until we're happy. But I don't want it completely at 100%. So I'm going to turn it down pretty much at first, and then we can always go up if we need to. Let's see what it looks like. I'm just going to catch up on the stream. Oh, hey J-Cards. Sorry I didn't see you coming in. Too focused on this, and I had to update the live chat. Thanks for stepping by, J-Cards. J-Cards, he is a reaction channel, among some things. Go check out his channel. So I still think that this light is a bit too strong. She got a better little more overall light. I'm just going to... Oh. Simply just about trial and errors, basically. Or until you're happy. Oh yeah, I was going to Chrome, wasn't I? I completely forgot about that. I just realized that I did go to Chrome, but I didn't actually do anything. But this green light, we are going to change that a bit, just to soften it up a bit if I can. So I'm going to do this. Gonna see what it looks like. I may not be happy at all, so we may have to regret it. We'll see. Nope. I'm just going back step by step because I wasn't happy. Wait, what happened? Did I go too far? Huh? So my hair? That's... Wait, something's different. Oh. Okay, I had gone not enough steps. Thank you, Yoshi. I'm just trying to get a bit of balance. I'm not fond of this. It's a bit too sharp. It needs some finessing on the lights. I could sit and fiddle with this forever until I am perfectly happy. It needs a bit of adjustment around the cheek line. I think it's a bit too sharp. But this is basically how I did the Banner Girls. I can next time I will try and keep DAS streams on every Sunday at the same time every Sunday. And next time I can show you the original setup I have for the Banner Girls. But this is how I went about them. I simply put out a base figure and I started dialing in what I thought looked nice, chose my skin, chose my outfit and hair. A lot of it was based around the hair because I love the hair I used in that. And then I chose the outfits fitting for that. And then I simply replaced some outfits, changed a bit of the makeup, gave them a bit new overall look, changed the color of the hair to give them unique looks, each of them. So if you don't have a lot of outfits, if you just have, we say, one girl, a couple of a skin for that girl, and but you have one hair, but maybe three outfits, then just change the makeup. We can try, for example, a quick one to just see how different of a look we can get. So if we start with just changing, just going to save first. Nope, not Fanling. If we, for example, wait, we can go this one, the original one. Ooh, for the Moth Whispered Horizon, I can see if I still, I think I have the file. It's just that I'm not sure if all the products is still there that I used. But I can definitely go over it and see how it was set up and show you if it's still there. Also, one thing I just noticed, I'm not very fond of the booby situation, but there is actually some helps for that too. There are some morphs so that you can make clothing fit better. A lot of the time the clothing, the t-shirts will just shape after the body, but there are some morphs settings so that you can make it look better and not so pushed together, for example, which I can show on another. But right now we changed her whole outfit just like this. So this one, this fit the hair pretty well, and we can change the hair quickly. Let's go with the dark. Let's see. Let's try this one. And we can change her quickly. We can go completely different and do, let's see. Let's try this one. Clarity. That's a good skin. She turned really cute now. See how different she looks just by changing her skin. So if we go back just to see the difference. Oh, nope. Catastrophe. That's a no-go. Oh, I do not know why that happened. Whoops. Okay. Abort, abort, abort mission. Let's just go back to that, shall we? I'm just going to check. Wait, where is she? Um, where did she go? Okay, so simply, yeah, there's something with that, so it didn't work. But with the change of her skin, she does actually look quite different. Yeah, she had a little too hard of a party night. But this Clarity, she has some really cool cyber skin. And then if we do a quick pose change, then all of a sudden, with the same girl but with different makeup, you have a completely different. So you can utilize your products a lot. So yeah, that's basically how I did the Banner Girls, and by a few clicks with the same items, just by changing, some skin or some texture, you can do a lot. And as we could see, we played. Pardon my stuttering. We played a bit with the Vignette and some burn highlights to get this white framing with the Vignette and that. But if we want to go dark, we can do it like this. Change the mood. I hope not that it was, but it's not a tutorial or anything, but just as a simple, well, maybe not so simple, but just as how I do a preliminary workflow when I have nothing in mind and just start out with a figure. Let me just quickly see if I can show you the morph before we end this. I'm going to go to her and I'm going to go to all because I can't remember what it's called. No. Eh, it's not this. I need to go to actor or is it poses? That is the question. Let me just check. Here I have some muscles. There are so many different things here. Breast helper. I can change. Oops. Don't want to go too far. This one may not be the best. This may be in her boobie situation itself. Oops. Oh. Well, there's some boobie action going on. But I am not really finding what I need to fix this. So it could be that I may need to change her boobies themselves to better fit the outfit. I may have to go in and check that, but I can't do that right now since it's YouTube. Well, I guess I could. But I'll have to go calm your tits. But so there is help, shape help for these kind of situations. I just this quickly cannot fix it. I need to go in and see if it's oh wait, here we have something. Now we got a little bit better. Gone. We maybe can give her. Nope. Then we did that again. Nope. Nope. No boobies. Boobies. No boobies. Boobies. If it was that easy. But yeah, anyway. That was a little bit of how we can adjust the jacket form. So for the most part, I can just go into the morphs, the breast helper. I will link to that in the description. Probably tomorrow when I wake up. It's pretty late here when I do these streams, because I don't want to get in the way of my friends' streams. But yeah, I think this was it for today. Let's just... No, I did wrong. I apologize for being a bit all over the place. I will try and get better as we go. Okay, I'm just going to try one last thing before we say goodnight. And again, thank you to everyone who came by, who hit that like button. And for those of you who stayed, I really do appreciate it. Artie, she is one of my absolute fave. I just love the overlays. These glitter stuff for the lips and the eyes we can add to pretty much anyone. And like that, we had a new girl. So everyone that came, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, to each and every one of you. And yeah, just a bit short about the plans. So every Sunday I will try to have a dance stream going. I will try and have something planned to show you, and I will go in a bit more complicated for my bigger scenes. For example, this stream has ended scene. I can show how I set that up. It requires a bit more pieces and such. I don't think I use very much lights for this actually. I think I just use a sunlit HDR for this. But so I will do Sunday streams, DAZ streams, where I will show some of my process in DAZ and what you can come across as we work on those. I will try and finish some of my much bigger pieces on streams. And then every other Friday I will have Baldur's Gate streams, gaming streams. But I will also have some videos of DAZ coming up, and maybe a bit of regular game videos. We'll see. I'm still learning everything. I still have some technical issues with the quality and the sound, but hopefully it will get better as we go ahead. So thank you for everyone who came, and hope you all had a good weekend and have a good week coming up. Thank you everyone. Take care.